an NDTV campaign, well, a next-gen reform for road safety. The Delhi Lieutenant Governor Vinay Kumar Saxena has proposed a radical plan to check traffic violations. He has written to the Finance Minister and proposed index-linked insurance premiums in order to deter traffic violations and improve road safety. He said that a vehicle which has been frequently challaned for traffic offences such as overspeeding and of course red light jumping and dangerous driving should be obligated to pay higher insurance premiums. This of course in his letter last week. In fact, he has also said that financial deterrence would encourage a better driving behaviour, as there is an obvious correlation between repeat traffic offences and risk of accidents. He's also cited a report of the Delhi Traffic Police saying that 60% of deadly road accidents involve vehicles that had been previously fined for traffic violations, primarily speeding, red light jumping, etc. In fact, the vehicles with more than 3 traffic challans in a given year were found to have a disproportionately high involvement in severe accidents as per the report. Now, of course, there has been an alarming trend. There's been an over 4.37 lakh road accidents that have been reported. In fact, ultimately 1.5 lakh deaths have been reported as a result of these accidents as well. Speeding accounted for nearly 70% of these accidents. Vehicles with multiple traffic violations have a 40% higher risk of being involved in fatal crashes. But this is certainly a next generation reform. It's a radical idea to link traffic violations to vehicle insurance premiums. Is this actually going to work? Because we have seen that traffic challans haven't really worked. But let me go across first to my colleague Shreya, who is joining us from the national capital. So Shreya, of course, Delhi and Delhi roads have been notorious for deadly accidents, deadly crashes, cases like hit and run, etc., particularly in the past 1 year. What is the sense that you get as far as this particular idea is concerned? What do people think about it as far as Delhi is concerned?
Right, so this whole idea of linking insurance premiums with traffic violations is like hurting the drivers where it hurts the most, that is their wallets, right? And of course, Mr. Saxena has also cited this data collected wherein Delhi has witnessed almost 40%, vehicles which has sort of committed traffic violations have a 40% higher risk of involving in a fatal accident. So I'm joined by some people here. Let's ask from them. So, sir, ye vehicular insurance, depending on the traffic violations that you commit, how practical do you think this strategy is?
See, initiative is good, but practically, if the violation that has been happening, if it is not being tracked properly and the violation is without any fault of the driving person, in that case he will be penalized without any of his fault. That is the prime issue. So we need to track those violations properly and identify the fault behind it, and accordingly we can act on that.
Right.
But otherwise the initiative I feel is good, and it might create an impact on the road accidents.
Right. Do you believe there are other key factors like strong law enforcement system to track these violations? Because don't you think the low income group people will face the brunt of it all the more?
Of course. See, for any initiative, some of the portion always it's there that some of them is getting penalized without any this thing. But over a period of time and with changes and necessary to and fro kind of thing, we can improve it.
Right. Sir, आपको क्या लगता है इधर दिल्ली NCR regions में काफ़ी ज़्यादा हमने in the recent past accidents देखा है because of over speeding, red light violation, jumping red lights, और इसके वजह से we have seen fatal accidents taking place. Traffic challans has not been as effective a solution. आपको क्या लगता है vehicle insurance बढ़ा देने से लोग और ज़्यादा responsibly drive करें?
That is one way of थोड़ा सा it will be a more act as a punishment for the people rather than bringing them on the line. So I think it's better to have some more awareness, some campaigns, some roadside campaigns rather than penalizing the people. So I would say it's not a very welcoming thing. they should consider more about awareness rather than penalizing the people, I would say.
Right. So we got two very different opinions. Of course, there are key factors like stronger law enforcement system and important traffic awareness campaigns. But these are important factors in ensuring responsible driving and enhancing road safety. Other than, of course, this strategy which Mr. LG Saxena has proposed to our finance minister, and he has also cited that this kind of strategy has proven successful in other countries, European countries, and if we can sort of implement this strategy in India, then it will make our country sort of aligned with other global leaders in terms of road safety, because we know that as per data, the vehicles which sort of has committed traffic violations like overspeeding and jumping red lights, these are the cars more prone to fatal car accidents, and therefore penalizing these cars by increasing the cost of the vehicle insurance can be an effective financial deterrent. Over to you.
Shreya, thanks very much for joining us with that. Interesting to see how there were two completely different opinions. Of course, some believe that this is the only way forward, while others believe that the onus should be on the authorities and the administration and not so much the people. But let me bring in my guests this morning. Well, Rajni Gandhi, General Secretary of Tracks Road Safety, is with us. Also, Sana Rais Khan, Advocate of the Supreme Court, will be joining us in just a short while from now as well. Ms. Gandhi, going across to you first. Well, road safety is something that we've talked about for so many years in India, but this idea remains elusive as far as we're concerned. Do you think that, punitive measures, and in this case, financial deterrence, is perhaps a radical idea, but the only way to fix accountability and the only way to make sure that, people, passengers and commuters do not commit traffic violations?
Yeah, hi. The problem is with road safety, that we are still in the halfway approach. We are not taking the full approach for road safety. I'm partially happy with this news and partially not, because somewhere this is something for the public. But if we talk about the authorities, if we talk about the road safety major pillars, so we are very behind in case of that. Insurance companies and insurance sector, they are getting involved into road safety. That's a good thing, that public will get the awareness that how much it is important, because it is ultimately hitting their pocket now again. But how much enforcement and how much the safe infrastructure is available for the public, that is also the reason we need to understand. It is a welcoming
Before we come to the
way,
infrastructure point, Ms. Gandhi, the idea here also is that, in India, there is a sense that you can commit these traffic violations and get away with it. Many times we see that, you have luxury cars involved in cases of speeding and hit and run. And there is a sense of impunity. There is a sense that you can get away with traffic violations. I think perhaps that is where this idea of deterrence and financial deterrence comes into play.
In my last interview with your channel itself, I have, asked and raised one concern over it, as you have mentioned, that the violators are, getting the tickets, and after that they are just forgetting about it. There is not impact on them. We do enforcement for the impactful purpose. But if that impact is not there and the violations are happening by one of the road user again and again, it means there is a need of something else. And just ticketing them is not the concern. So secondly, the offenders who are getting habitual of violating the traffic rules, there is a need of policy intervention over there to place some offender training system. I have asked earlier also, there is a need. We should understand and we should know which type of road users we are providing on roads, which type of road users are coming on road. So there is a need, we have for the commercial drivers, but for not the normal drivers. So that is one of the aspects. But secondly, later on, again and again, we emphasize that till the time we are not having the forgiving and mentality-based road design, as well as a stringent enforcement, we cannot change the people road user behavior, because these two ingredients are more important. Until the time we're not having these two enforcement and safe infrastructure on place, we cannot expect a better road user behavior from people. So that's the basic need we need to understand. And somewhere the data. There are many experts who always talk about the data also, and sometimes questioning that what type of data we are providing. So there is in European and American countries, I think the insurance sector is involved for the data
Yes.
purpose also. Why we are not reaching to that extent to have the right data also from the insurance? Because if a person met with a crash and after a 1 month he is dying, so is he the part of that data also or not? That can be come from
So
the
I think
insurance
that's an
companies
important point
also.
you're making.
Yeah.
But also looking at road awareness, very often we see that people don't have basic awareness when it comes to ethical driving, whether it's lane driving, or things like overtaking, speeding. There are basic things, fundamentals that in India we don't seem to have that sort of sensitization towards. How do you see that aspect? Because awareness ultimately is really the fulcrum of the entire issue. I mean, recently there was an accident in Gurugram where both the parties involved, perhaps many would say, were equally responsible, because one was speeding, one was in the wrong side of the road, but we also saw faulty lane driving behavior. So awareness is key as well when it comes to road safety.
Basically, here the role of the influencers come. From where we are learning driving? Is everybody going to the training center for that driving purpose, or they are just learning? We also see in the during the morning walk a
Sure.
say 18 or 19-year boy or a girl getting a driving training from his father or a brother. They are sitting on a two-wheeler and both are not wearing the helmet, because the father is also doing the same practice and he is teaching the same to his son or daughter, while just teaching them how to ride a two-wheeler. So the same practice is going on, and here is a need to break this culture that how we are giving the good road users on roads, because right now the situation is totally different. And
Okay.
here is the role
So-
of the influencers also come.
Okay, so
where
that's an
what
interesting
type
point
of-
you're making. That's an interesting
Yeah.
point you're making, that perhaps looking at more innovative ways of sensitizing people as far as road safety is concerned. Sana Raiz Khan, advocate of the Supreme Court, is also with us. Sana, there's many concerns over how this will be implemented, given the fact that in essence, what the Lieutenant Governor seems to suggest is that reckless driving needs to be punished. If there are frequent traffic violations, then there has to be punitive measures, in this case financial measures that need to be taken. So basically, drive safe or pay more is the idea here. But is it easy to implement?
Of course, this initiative aims to deter traffic violations and enhance road safety by adjusting insurance costs based on driving behavior and accident statistics. But I don't think this could be an effective deterrence. I mean, there are multiple better alternatives. Like, in fact, in reality, education and awareness, like targeted campaigns, launching campaigns focusing on the dangers of specific violations like speeding or driving under the influence would be much, of course, more effective, which highlights personal stories. Then again, driver educational programs like integrating road safety into driver education, positive reinforcement like incentive programs like rewarding drivers for safe behavior, such as discounts on insurance premiums, I think would be a better deterrence. Then even recognition programs and local initiatives like involving communities in developing road safety programs tailored to their specific issues. Then again, of course, local initiatives in developing road safety programs, again, peer-to-peer programs, and then use of technology, especially in today's times, prevalent, which is far more prevalent, like smart apps, which developing apps that could monitor driving behaviors and providing real-time feedback, rewarding safe driving habits. Then automated enforcements, like using technology like speed cameras or traffic light cameras to deter violations. Then again, visible patrol which will increase the presence of law enforcement on the roads to act as a deterrent, ensuring that the drivers feel that they are being monitored. And of course, restorative and justice approaches are extremely important, like community service for certain violation, offering alternatives like community service, focusing on road safety education, which can help offenders understand the impact of the action. So a multifaceted
the point you made about
combined.
infrastructure, the point you made about infrastructure enforcement, I think that's an important one. But also, just looking at what the Lieutenant Governor said in his letter, he also says that this sort of a system would ensure that the insurance costs actually align with the actual risks posed by individual drivers. How do you look at that aspect from a legal perspective, Sana?
Yeah, I think definitely a multifaceted approach is required, which combines financial incentives, education, technology, and enforcement. That is, I believe, is most effective way to deter traffic violations. Just not punitive measures alone may not be sufficient to ensure long-term compliance with road safety measures, because increased fines and penalties can deter some individuals, but they often fail to address the underlying issues such as the lack of awareness, habit, cultural attitudes towards driving. So effective deterrence, of course, will require a combination, because the drivers may just view fines as a cost of driving rather than deterrence. So this mindset will, of course, have to be changed. And again, they may not be even aware of the rules or implications, or even the high fines can disproportionately affect the low income.
One blanket policy perhaps going forward. It has to be a multifaceted approach, as you said, because road safety is an idea, as I said at the very outset, is something that is still very alien to India, though of course this is a campaign that we have been running, and it's something that has been talked about a great deal. But as more and more highways come up, we really need to focus on awareness and of course a multifaceted approach to road safety. Thanks very much for being with us on The Breakfast Show this morning.